Hello people, thanks for watching this video. In this one, it's a video I came across. Not what I watched the first minute, and it already looks like a video that I'm interested in, because what this video really is geared towards, that I can see from the first minute or so that I watched, is in essence that men are looking for love, or most men are looking for love, but most women are looking for business. Period. And cheap thrills, fun, excitement. The last thing most women and most modern women are looking for is love. You can think that they are, you can kid on and live in a fairy tale like all these nonsensical love stories, but the bottom line is, it's a lie, because woman's primal nature is to look out for herself, get as much resources as she can, and basically there's obviously the problem of hypergamy, which is monkey branching, and that's just in women's nature. Quickly, I'll just kind of surmise that if you think back to the Viking days and days of old, you go back hundreds, even thousands of years, women have had to be conditioned over time to just always go for the stronger man, because if you think about it, back in the day, you had your nice little Christian men, let's say in England, going about their business with their women and their children, and then Vikings pull up on the shore, pillage the place, kill the men, and take the women, and the women had to adapt and they go with the stronger men to survive. And this is just a pretty much instinct that's ingrained in women. And now that we've got modern times, it's the modern times that we live in, social media, OnlyFans, etc., men throwing money at women because they can't get women, and women know how to play men, a lot of men. We're living in a time where it's hypergamy on steroids, and women are just naturally always looking for the better option. It's not really about love, the connection between you and I. Let's just love each other and fall in love. No, you have to bring something to the table for women to stick around. Even good looks, being masculine or manly, can only take you so far. So let's watch this, and we'll see where it goes.
Most women get married because they want financial security. Why else would I tie myself down to you, have your children, if you're not going to take care of us?
Because I love you, you love me. We can sleep in a sleeping bag outside. We love each other.
Oh my God.
That's why you get married, right?
No.
If he loves her, he's going to grow with her and love her. The money.
Nobody cares about that.
And
Nobody
that's
cares.
why the world
I'm
is messed
sorry.
up right now. These women think money is the end all be all.
I'm sure if you had a daughter, you would not want her with a man who has nothing and just loves her.
I'm not going to allow my daughter to marry a guy just because he got some money. So we're going to put it on two scales. I know he got $100 million. I can see it. I know it. Yeah. And I can see and know this man love my daughter with his heart, soul, do whatever for, good, bad, rich, poor. I'm going to go with this side. What the fuck is money?
Women feel like this is what I do for myself, so a man has to be able to do the same or more.
Why can't you keep doing it for yourself?
I agree with you, Tamron, but they're like, why if you here? If a man is here, why am I?
But you're not here for my wigs.
But they're feeling like this. Okay, I'm showing up for you. I'm giving you my energy. I am in your presence. You should pay for this.
Yeah, that's prostitution. And that's another thing. A lot of women try and realistically skirt about and dance about the fact, but most women are literally prostitutes. They go for men for cash. We all know this. It's a transactional business, and that's what I'm saying. Women are looking for business. Look at the classic, the old man with the young women. And let's just be real, people. Women, like I said, you can get them with looks. Right, you can have one night stands or a fling, but if you don't have a certain lifestyle with finances and cars and whatever, most women will not stick around. They will monkey branch and look for a better option. It's just ingrained in them, and you have to understand this. I'm not saying women are terrible for this, and I'm not saying that it's their fault. It's nature, and that's what you have to understand.
Now, I'm not saying I agree with
Wait a other way.
Marriage, love is a business.
You talking about relationships. We didn't even get to marriage yet. We know marriage is a contract.
Yeah.
But you talking about relationship right now.
Relationships is a business.
But another person could come and swoop you off if his bag is bigger.
Well, don't let no man bag be bigger.
The only like thing right
Like, let's be honest. Like, be on your shit. Like, if you.
So you gotta be Bill Gates, basically. Then.
If somebody can go big on big, you go bigger.
All right, but then understand, if somebody come and look more attractive than you, then you got to step your game up too.
And that's fine with me. I go get one more BBL.
If somebody offered you $50K a month to leave me, would you do it?
Yeah. Somebody offered you $50,000 a month.
I would
to
not leave you.
me. Why?
Because I
See?
love you and I've built a life with you.
Well, then I would leave you for being a dumbass. Because what the are you talking about?
That's wild.
$50K a month?
$50K a month, man.
Every month.
Every month.
For the rest of my life.
Rest of your
I don't
life.
have to do shit for it but leave.
You got to leave and be with that person, yeah.
Are you about to say something else that's going to make me...
No.
Like, what's the bad... What are you talking about?
Well, damn.
I believe a man can love a woman unconditionally, but I don't think a woman can love a man unconditionally.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I beg to differ. I think it's the other way around. I think a woman can love a man unconditionally, and men.
Not forever.
You don't think so?
No. I think when a man loves a woman for real, like, he'll love her forever.
Eddie's brothers. I bet some of y'all are going to be today years old when you realize that relationships are a business and that her love has conditions, brothers. Some of y'all are just going to be understanding that for the first time today. And for the rest of y'all brothers, man, I'm curious to know, when did you understand that relationships were a business, that relationships were transactional, that her love had conditions? You know what I'm saying? Like, the first time I really understood this was coming from, going from middle school to high school. When women get to high school, man, different things kick in. Yeah, you might have been cute. Yeah, you might have had some good hair. Yeah, you might have been, had a little swag about you. But when you got to high school, it was all about status. It was all about, this brother is the quarterback of the varsity football team. It was about, this brother had a vehicle. And women just started moving different. Women started putting a different kind of value on relationships, man. Where it became more transactional, where it became like that security factor kicked in. When did you recognize it, brothers? Was it when your girl went to college and now she's rubbing elbows with brothers that are engineers and scientists and all these other things while you're still in your old hometown working on an assembly line?
And also what I'll say is, just basically, you have to understand that women are always pretty much, if a woman is decent looking and got a good body, she's always going to have options. It's not necessarily like that for most men, because if you think about it, the nature is that men chase women. For some men, like, I've had experiences where women come on to me, but what I'm saying is, in general, women have always got a lot more options than men. So even if she's happy in a relationship, there's always going to be options for her. And if one comes along that tempts her, she'll take it. And if he's got a better car, if he's taller, if he's got more benefits upon you, it's a better option for her. And that is a woman's primal nature, is to go for the strongest man, the best man in their mind. So you have to understand, women are hard to keep content. And that, like that woman said earlier in the video, she doesn't really truly believe that women love men forever. It's just in their nature, as you can see from what I'm saying, what he's saying, and what you've already learned.
And she just saw that there was value in different brothers. Because I'm gonna tell you this, man. One thing you'll notice that as a woman gets older, the 6-pack and the 6'12" height and all these other things, they slowly start to fall, man. And a woman is looking at a man strictly for transactional reasons. She's looking at a man and say, you know what, how can this man put me in a good position? And as they get older, how can this man be a part of my retirement plan? And I'm not telling you, brothers, this to say, oh, this is jacked up. Women are moving like this. I'm talking about how women are just made. A lot of women are.
Yep, how they're just made it. How many stories do you hear of women taking men to the cleaners, leaving them in the gutter, cashless, kidless, emotionally wrecked? It happens all the time. It is so common that it just blends in like the furniture. People don't even pay attention now. It's that normal. But everybody knows it happens.
Like women are just made on to look at things different than men. And to be honest, man, a lot of men have figured this out and have simply backed out or bowed out of relationships. A lot of men are saying, hey, if it's going to be a transactional thing, I don't even want to play the game, and I feel it. I can agree with a brother saying that. But you got to understand, man, it's just different. It's not nothing to get mad at. It just is what it is.
It's their nature. That's what I'm saying. So you can say, right, you are a human being and you know it's wrong. They do know it's wrong, but ultimately it's a primal instinct that's just there, programmed into you. You can try and fight it. Women can try and fight it, but that is just in them. It's primal. You cannot ignore your primal instincts. Like, it's just in our DNA. And obviously we can try and negate it and, override it and do the right thing. But fundamentally, it's always there in women. And you have to remember that men are designed to care, protect, and love. Women are more designed to, men are designed to care and love a woman. And the woman is designed to care for and love the child. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the love comes back to the man. The woman is looking out for the best resources, the most safety. They just think differently. They're designed differently, and that's why I genuinely believe men, not all men, but most men actually genuinely can love a woman and be happy with them if they bring peace to his life and they're just feminine. It's really that simple. But with women, we all know it's a lot more complicated than that. But like I said, it's in their nature. It's just, you can blame them to a certain degree. But realistically, you have to understand that it's like, don't hate the player, hate the game. And the game is Mother Nature, And
I'm talking about even the quote-unquote good women are seeing you as a transactional business deal. You have to understand, man, they don't see the world like us. Like K-Dot said, they not like us. And the thing is, this is what I understood. Like when women are young and they're in that small stage, they're looking at love a certain way. They're playing in dollhouses. They're playing. It's a different energy. But like I say, once they get to a certain age, they see you as transactional. Whereas young men, as they grow older, they fall into this whole fairy tale of unconditional love. Women don't think like that. Because a man can see a woman. You can walk in a store. You can walk in a McDonald's and see a chick in the back dipping fries. You're not worried about how much money she brings to the table. You're not worried about, can this woman help me sustain? You're not worried about any of those things. You're saying she cute. The aura that surrounds her looks high vibrational. Like she has a very high possibility of being in my life forever, possibly a wife. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all brothers have pulled up to like a bus stop. You ever pull up to a bus stop, man, and see a chick sitting there waiting on a bus and she bad? She cute in the face. She thick in the thighs. And you like, God dang, like you really ain't got to be riding this bus. Like real talk, after about 20 seconds of conversation, 30 seconds of conversation, like once I can kind of sense your aura, you can get in and you can ride with me forever. You got to understand, women don't look at it like we look at things, brothers. Your woman lose her job. First thing.
Fundamentally, men are designed to love and protect. So that is why they're more likely to just love a woman for who they are. because men don't look to women to provide anything other than love and nurturing nature. That's really it. Just bring peace and be feminine, and that is the essence of women, is loving and nurturing. But sadly, it's missing in a lot of women these days. But so it's realistically, that's what I'm saying. Men are designed for that, and women are designed to get security and resources in a sense of for their nest, and that is how they are programmed. And it's just never really, you can't take it out of them. And sadly, it's being manipulated, and it's on steroids in this day and age. Like, women have figured out over years how to play it and play it and play it between their emotions and how to work men and get and extract what they want from them. And we see it time and time again, you know. It's what can you give me, not how much love can you give me. It's how much resources you need to spend this, you need that, we need this, we need that. Like what I'm saying is most women will not just fall in love with a guy and go and live in a tent with him. That's not that, but that would be like, right, we're together, that's all that matters, and we'll just get through it. No, women are looking for the best life, the best options, and the most security, and that's it. And they don't care who they hurt, and that's the sad thing. They do not care who they hurt in the process. It's all, and this is why I always say women are conditioned to be self-centered as well, and that's why they can't really ever truly love a man, And
you gonna say, you know what, babe? Like, you look much cuter sitting in this kitchen at home with me all day, cooking me something up, laying up with me, letting me massage you down. Like, you look much better in that position. But in all three of those scenarios, women see it completely different. I wish a brother would be flipping burgers and turn around and wink his eye at a chick with a Louis bag on her shoulder, checking out at the cash register. She gonna be like, I know this dude ain't looking at me. I wish a dude would be at a bus stop trying to flag down a chick. Hey, let me get your number, while she driving by. Brother, she's gonna make fun of you, man. Let you lose your job.
And that's just what he's going to say. It's all about status and whatever. So let's just keep it simple. If you get a man who goes into a burger joint and gets speaking to a really cute feminine chick and she's flipping burgers, and he's a millionaire and he likes her and he sees that she's feminine and peaceful and pretty and nice, he will happily take her on a date, no questions, if he likes her. That's all men really look for. That's it. That's how simple men are. But if you flip it, like he said, and you've got a guy flipping the burgers, and a millionaire woman or a really rich woman comes in, she is not even going to entertain him. Most women look down on men in their jobs, and I'm not saying all, but most. A woman's not going to say, oh yeah, even if it would have to be the guy necessarily that would ask her, but they would laugh. They would be like, nice try, punk,
Y'all see some of these girls, these ladies on TikTok? He lost his job in 30 days. I was gone. In 30 days, nothing happened. I was gone. Or the brother that lost his job, or something happened to his bank, and his wife was like, yeah, I got a bag. She was swole in the pockets, and she.
How many stories do you hear when women leave men at their worst? How many stories? It's all good and everything's fine, and they're getting what they want, but it's a lot of the times, like if a man gets injured and disabled or he loses his job, you hear it time and time again that women leave their men. I'm not saying men don't do it flip, but you hear a lot more women just leaving men when they're at their worst.
I think she paid for like 1 month of bills or whatever, and she said, you got to pay me back. You got to pay me back. So you got to understand, man, women don't look at relationships like men. We can sit here and get mad at it. But again, I don't care if you're talking about the Mother Teresas. I don't care if you're talking about the Felicia Rashads. Women look at relationships as a business. Her love is conditional, brothers. So now that you understand this information, man, it comes down to if you understand love is a business, what are you asking for in the deal?
So this is another thing as well. It doesn't matter. You could be a really good looking guy, right? Let's just say you're a good looking guy, you're a Chad, and you know a woman's maybe seen you for a while and she somehow gets a crush on you and really likes you. Once a woman gets to know you, maybe she gets to sleep with you and that's what she wants. If you don't have enough masculinity, enough frame, and you don't know how to keep her in line at a minimum, and then also you don't have enough resources, you don't have a good enough lifestyle, you don't have a job, she'll leave. So it doesn't really matter how much she's liked you in the beginning. If you don't meet up to her criteria, she will leave you. And that's the bottom line.
So that's the thing. A lot of men just say, hey, you know what? I got a girl in my life. Like that's the part of the deal you want. She's loving you with conditions, and all you want is her in your life. If that's the game, man, you gotta start saying to yourself, if relationships are a business, if I understand she wants this certain level of security from me, she wants me to provide and do these things for her, like that's part of me being here. If these things aren't in place, she's gone. You telling me that's the truth? You're choosing to be in a relationship, but you have no prerequisites of yourself? There are no boxes that she needs to check? So you got to start looking at relationships different if you're going to play that game at all, brothers. And I'm going to tell you this. If you're getting into a relationship and the only thing you require is for her to lay down in that bed and be with you at night, you're a trick, brothers. I'm going to say it again slow. Because a lot of these guys get online talking about, hey, your woman shouldn't even be lifting a finger. She should just be breathing and enjoying life. They tricks. If the only thing you require from your woman is to give you that level of intimacy, you're a trick. Hell, here in Dallas, I can go down to you can go down to Harry Hines. You can go walk down Soy Cowboy and get that. You're telling me you're getting in a whole relationship till death do us part for? Wow. And it comes down to purpose. It all comes down to purpose. If you're going to put yourself in a business deal, you got to be tied to your purpose. Like if I'm going to bring a helpmate in my life, what is it I need her to help me with? What portion of my life? You know what I'm saying? You really got to start thinking about this stuff, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like you may need a whole business partner. You may need a woman that's a whole accountant in your life. You know, you may need a chef. You might be to a point in your life where you're saying, hey, you know what, man, I understand that the world is doing a certain thing. I understand that people are getting sick from eating this. Like I need a woman that can come in every day and cook my meals. There's nothing wrong with requiring a woman to move in a certain frequency or do certain things to be in your life. Because she has.
Yeah, and touching on what he's saying, you see a lot of women who, if you don't set boundaries, they get lazier and lazier. Now, just let's look at the average woman. Most of them, or a lot of them, don't know how to cook. They're not good at cleaning. Generally, they lack the most basic things that, you know, they should really do, or anybody should do. Like you find most men can cook better than women. And that's because women don't have any criteria. Men are so easy to please and just so eager to get a woman that, like he says, if she lays down in bed, that's good enough for most men. And this is why we're in this position. Because women have all the stipulations and criteria, and most men are just like, oh, will you sleep with me? Oh, that's great. You can be my wife forever now. I'm so happy I can get a woman that will just sleep with me and let me sleep with her. Do you know? Men need to get a bit more self-respect, and it'll definitely help change the game. But sadly, there's a lot of spineless little simp betas that I guess you can't really blame them because they've not had a lot of experience with women. So they crave it, I guess, right? With guys like in my position, I'm not saying I'm a Chad or whatever, but I definitely don't have to put too much effort into getting women. Women do hit on me if I go out, and I've had a lot of experience with women. I've had a lot of fun. I've had relationships. I've had whatever. But So I don't necessarily crave it, and I think it's not until you get you get experience with a lot of women, it's easier to see the reality. But most men are just smitten by women because they crave it, that they get in their emotions too much and lust, and they are just so easy to manipulate just through even get a woman offering time in the bedroom. Most men will do anything for it, and it's pretty sad, and that doesn't help the situation, you know, where women, you know, have got it too easy, really.
Conditions and say, hey, you know what? I'm looking for a woman, like, you ain't got to pay no bills, you ain't got to be doing. I need somebody to come in my house and can cook 5 days a week for me, healthy meals. Like, that's what I need from a woman. You have to start standing on things like that, bro. And she'll come in and say, okay, you know what? I understand my role. You understand the role I have for you. Let's move as a.
And you have to give that. You have to set boundaries, and you have to maintain them. You don't slack. You don't like, you know, she doesn't do it for 5 minutes. You stop. You have to have boundaries and maintain them. This is the reason, and you'll find that a lot of women won't stick around when they realise they can't manipulate you. But this is where men go wrong, because men will resist so far, but then they get lost in their feelings, and when the woman resists, rather than walking away, they go the opposite and they start begging and going, please, oh, you know, if the woman's like, no, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? It's like men just need to know that if women do not stay within your sort of a criteria and boundaries and what you will expect for having respect for yourself, you need to have a certain level of standards. If she breaks them too often, or she starts to break them, you walk away or you end it. That's it. You do not, because if you let a woman keep breaking your boundaries, eventually you will have none, and she will walk all over the top of you. So you have to have boundaries, self-respect, know what you will accept and you won't accept, and don't just go with a woman because she will open her legs. It has to be, what does she benefit to you? You know?
Business. Love is just icing on the cake. I'm telling you, love is just icing on the cake when it comes to a relationship. But yeah, you should love your woman, but that duty to the relationship has to come first. And yes, she has duty for you, but a lot of us brothers don't have any duty for them. I'm going to tell you, brothers, man, relationships are a business, bro. Her love has conditions, man. You may be a brother with a...
And so if you put it like that, it's like you're taking on an employee and you're paying for their life, giving them everything, taking them out, and they're giving you the minimal effort to get what you're giving them. And that's what's happening. Men are literally taking on an employee, paying them crazy amounts of money, and your employees just thinking you're a mug because you're giving them all of this love and resources and money, and they're literally just opening their legs when they feel like it and just playing games with you. That is how insane it is, and men need to start looking at it as a business. So you need to say, right, well, if I'm going to be providing this, you need to provide that. You need to cook, clean. You don't go on girls' trips, etc., blah, blah, blah. Now, obviously, if you're not paying for a woman, you can't really expect that. But if you are literally protecting, caring, and providing for a woman and doing everything that you're expected or they expect, they should be definitely bringing something to the table and getting held to a certain standard as well. They can't just, be all one way. And this is why we're seeing these women getting out of control and just thinking they can get more and more and more because men are allowing it, really.
A child. You might have a daughter. You might have a son. Or you might have children. And you like, you know what, man? I'm trying to get to this bag. I'm trying to get to 7 figures. I'm trying to get to $1 million. I'm trying to get this job that has me traveling around the country so many days a week. Like I need for the woman that comes into my life to be able to be that caretaker for me. Again, you ain't got to do X, Y, Z. We ain't got to talk about nothing else. This is what I need from you. When you bring a woman in your life, man, you have to understand what it is you need from that woman. Even if it's just a high level of companionship. And that surpasses the whole level of intimacy. If you just need a ride or die person in your life that's gonna keep it 100 with you, telling you when you moving wrong, telling you when you slacking off. If you need that, then hold her to that, man. Hold her to that, because I'm gonna tell you this, brothers. If you're bringing a woman in your life and you aren't looking at it as a business decision, if you're bringing a woman in your life and you aren't looking at it as, how is this going to make my life better? What is my life going to be doing in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? It's going to be the worst decision of your life.
What was the worst financial decision that you made throughout your career?
Getting married, man. My divorce wiped me out. It was terrible. Marriage is a business, and I didn't look at it like that. I was one of those sucker for love kind of guys. So I was, I'm in love, it's a business. And if you don't look at it like that, that could be one of the worst financial mistakes you make. I'm being honest. Wiped me out, had to start over from scratch. But the beauty of it is, once you have it in you internally to build, you have the dog in you, the fight in you, doesn't matter. You'll always rebuild. It's not about losing it. If you have the dog in you, you can fight and bring it back. It's about recovery time. See, if you lose it at 20, you're probably in your early 20s, mid-20s. It's okay, you have recovery time. You're young. I'm 45. I'll be 46 in 2 months. If you lose it in your 40s, your mid-30s, it's terrible, because you don't have the same recovery rate as someone who's 20.
Yep, and that's basically... I'm not going to watch that video. That was a random one. But that's basically the story. That at the end of the day,
Most women get
what
married
he's
'cause they
saying is that women will wipe you out. And you think, oh, they're sweet, they're nice, they're kind, oh, they're little cute creatures, and they wouldn't do that. And men put them on a pedestal. But believe you me, women can be even worse and more evil than men. And you have to understand that until men wake up and realise that this is women's nature. And in my opinion, this whole love story, you meet somebody and you just love each other. You just fall in love with each other and you love each other for who you are and you form a bond and nothing else really matters. If that ever existed, it certainly does not exist now. It's not how reality works. It's a man-made constructed illusion. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in anecdotal cases, rarely, but if you look around, it's not common, and when you look around, you see this time and time and time again. Women want money and resources. They won't even entertain most men if they don't provide money, but they don't provide anything. This is why they look at most men like mugs, because men just throw money at them without expecting anything in return. How can you expect women to respect you if that's what you're doing? Just giving them things. Like, what have they done to earn it? What have they done to benefit you? Yeah? And that's the bottom line. Always remember that. Do not just be like, oh, she's beautiful and pretty, I must be nice and buy her things. No. It's, she's beautiful and pretty. If you get speaking and you get on, that's great. But what if you, like I said, if you don't like leading with your wallet, because I never ever advise leading with your wallet, but if you are a good looking guy, well, basically the bottom line is, if you don't lead with your wallet, you'll find it a lot harder to get women to stick around. A lot harder than if you lead with your wallet. Just look at it like that. So if you try and approach dating with spending no money on chicks, how far do you think it's really going to get you in this day and age? But if you approach it when you're spending a lot of money, oh, you'll get dates. But will you get women to stick around? This is the thing. And I think we all know that in the end, like I said, women get bored easily, they're emotional, they're all over the place. They've got primal urges, where they've got the monkey branching, the hypergamy, and that can't just be switched off. And we're seeing it. There's so many videos you can just look at and see that women like to have fun. They don't like... I feel like women get uncomfortable and bored in a nice, stable relationship. They need chaos, ups and downs, highs and lows. This is why a lot of women live crazy lives. And they find it hard to stick with one guy. And that realistically, love does not exist, because love is good initially. It gives you a dopamine rush, but women get bored with it. They need new highs, new rushes, this, that. It's hypergamy, money, and I believe that men are a lot more capable of being content than women. So, you just have to bear everything in mind that, you know, don't make it too easy for women or they'll walk over the top of you. And it is a business. Don't let a woman tell you otherwise. We all know women love money. It's what can you give me? You've got to pay, buy me this, buy me that, provide. Okay, well, what are you providing? Maybe not from up financially, but what are you benefiting my life? Or are you just straining, draining, and bringing chaos to my life? You want a woman that provides help, that makes you your dinner, your lunch, is kind. You don't even have to ask her. She just wants to do it. That's the kind of balance you want. Don't make it all one-sided. You have to assess that. Think about it. I'm sure if you sit back as a guy and say, every relationship I've been in, what has the woman ever really done for me? What has she ever actually bought me? And I'm sure most of your relationships you can be like, well, I think it was more me giving. You know, me giving money and her giving me a sore head. And that's not what you want. You want to, like I said, get respect for yourself, get boundaries, set your standards, and do not alter them. No matter how pretty the woman is, you need to stick to those standards, because that's the only way you're ever going to find a woman that will actually like you. Because if you've got a certain level of standards and a woman sticks around for them, there is a chance she likes you. You know, there is a chance, there's always a chance, but if you do not have standards and expect her to bring things to the table, and you just make it all a one-way street, if you do not bring standards to a woman, she will walk all over the top of you. You know, that's it. Women need structure. They need men to lead and be in charge. And if you don't have any boundaries, any respect for yourself, any standards, she's never going to be able to truly respect and love you. So I would honestly advise any young guy, if you're listening to this, get standards. Say, I'll only accept a woman that will cook, that will clean, that doesn't party all the time, that, you know, is, you know, friendly. She doesn't bring chaos to my life. I want her to bring peace to my life. You know, you don't have to go too crazy, but you want certain standards. I want a woman that will respect me, treat me with respect, don't speak down to me, don't disrespect me. You know, you need to get standards, and then that is your only hope of finding true love. And I'm promising you that. Because otherwise, a woman will never respect you and never love you if you're weak and have no standards. So until the next time, take it easy and peace.